Miguel Barrera Teixeira because his team, the New York Knicks, lost last night, 103-100. Down 3 seconds to go. Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby both missed threes. Chet Holmgren, I thought, was great throughout the game. When he is on, they are really tough to beat. Now, Jalen Williams did not play in this game last night. I should note that. Chet had 28 points, 8 rebounds. SGA had 26 and 8 assists. The Knicks got 17 and 17 boards from Karl Anthony Towns, who did foul out late. And then Jalen Brunson had 16 points, 15 assists. A couple of late assists, I thought, to Josh Hart were excellent in how he found them. But everyone is all complaining because they think that SGA early in the game should have gotten called for a third foul. And Mike Brown gets teed up, the Knicks head coach. And Mike Brown is not happy about the way in which the game was officiated. And here is the Knicks head coach post-game talking about SGA doing a great job convincing the referees.
SGA he's a tough cover, and he does a great job of convincing the referees, probably better than anybody in the league, that he's getting hit. All
right, David Dennis Jr. Is Mike Brown right? Did that factor into the game last night? And are we holding that against SGA, or are we praising him for that, if that is true?
Yeah, I'm tired of the foul merchant thing. It was probably a bad call, but it was a bad call that happened in the first half of the game. He got his third foul, or would have gotten his third foul. There are other reasons the Knicks lost the game. It's very rare that you look at a bad foul in the first quarter and say this is the reason the team lost the game. There are other reasons, and the Knicks have to address them. These are big problems. Yes, you could talk about the foul, but also you lost to a Thunder team that was a mass unit by the end of that game. Holmgren and Caruso were hurt. J-Dub, as you mentioned, did not play. The Knicks shot less than 30% from the field, and they're now 1 in 10 in those games. And the other teams who have the similar records like that are all the worst teams, like the Kings and the Pacers and those squads. The Knicks have to figure out how to win these games against these good teams when the three-point shot is not falling. They did that last year. They were not able to do that last night, and I'm not going to put a bad foul call in the first quarter for the reason that the Knicks did not win this game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, that's something that you can isolate and complain about and bring attention to if you really want to make sure that now when he goes to do that in the future, I mean, SGA, that the rest are aware of it. Obviously, we're having conversations about it. People are going to be looking at it in a different way. But you had other opportunities to win that game. As David mentioned, they had sustained injuries. So I'm not going to point to SGA and this one isolated moment, even though it could have changed the trajectory of the game, and say that that's the only reason why the Knicks lost this game. And I thought you asked an interesting question.
Thank you. What was it?
If this is a positive for SGA as a part of his game or not.
How can it not be?
I agree with what you're saying.
His job. Okay. Isn't
it up to the refs to not allow him to do it or to not give him the calls? Isn't it, as an athlete, you're doing everything you can in the moment to have things go your way and for you to be in an advantageous position to win?
Correct.
Why am I going to fault him for that?
Okay, let's rewind. Remember years ago when James Harden was on the Rockets, right? And they famously missed 27 threes in a row in a playoff game against the Warriors. Maybe stop shooting threes in that spot. Anyway, I hated watching them play. Aesthetically, I hated watching them play. Hated it. You could hate watching the Thunder play, and you could hate watching SGA play. He won a championship in the MVP last year, and they have the best record in the conference that is a more difficult conference than the other one in the Western Conference. Why would he change? His job is to find ways to win basketball games for the team that employs him, not to make it aesthetically pleasing for us or not to satisfy the opposition's fans in that, oh, well, Nuno and other Knicks fans are mad and Mike Brown is mad. He's doing his job. If the NBA wants to change it, let them change it, and then we'll see how great he is relative to adjustment. But if this player, in this case SGA, has found a way of scoring basically 30 points a game en route to winning a championship and maybe another one, you could call him a foul merchant. You could say, I hate watching him play. He flops, he flares, whatever it may be. David, who cares if you're him if people don't enjoy your style of play when you're winning as many games as he is?
And it's working.
And it's working. But also, I would challenge anybody about them saying that they don't enjoy his style of play, because his style of play is extremely entertaining. Like, it is a different form of drawing fouls than James Harden did. James Harden would do sort of the underhook with the arm, kind of flail the feet out, and you can make rules that sort of curb those fouls, which the NBA did. What SGA is doing is a lot of shiftiness that's drawing actual fouls more times than not. Now, that charge against Jalen Brunson, he didn't do much there, but it was just kind of a bad call. But I actually love watching SGA play. I love him, going back to the mid-range. Like, one of the reasons that the Rockets were so painful to watch back in the day was just threes. That was all it was. It was just these threes and James Harden kind of flopping, going to the paint. SGA is a different type of basketball to me that is just as entertaining as anything out there. He's incredibly difficult to guard, and most times he is actually getting fouled, and that's part of the reason that is so frustrating. Like, if you're telling me that you do not like watching the Thunder because of SGA, I got to question some of, what are you watching? Because, this dude is absolutely entertaining when he's playing basketball.
I love watching them play defense, actually.
Yeah.
They had a couple of moments last night in the game on ESPN against the Knicks where, you're taught in basketball growing up, and I played, but I'm not going to sit here and claim I was very good. Mm-hmm. But I'm almost 6'1". So when I was younger, I was a little bit taller than some of the people that I played with. And my dad would always say to me, if you bring the ball down, you're their size. If you keep it up, you're your size and some, right? The Thunder capitalize on every single time any player brings the ball down. There were a couple of times late last night where they were just slapping at the ball, because if you're Cat, and I thought he was okay last night, but if you're Cat and you're bringing the ball down and you're 7'1", you're no longer 7'1". Mm-hmm. And they are just so aware of those moments in that spot, and I just enjoy it. And thank you, Javante. Just played a perfect highlight. Unlike what he did for Smalls the other day when she was praising Kyler Murray and he got hit in the face with a snap. I'm getting good. What a TV package I'm getting here.
The next highlight was him, I think, incomplete pass and maybe an interception.
Smalls
after that.
I believe in this guy.
Yeah.
I think he could be good.
I was like, we've seen real signs from him.
And he gets clocked in the head.
She said he's so athletic, right? As the
that's
football
right.
goes off of
and
his
he
mask.
gets clocked in the head.
That's exactly right.
It's great. Anyway, so I agree with you, David. I think they're an enjoyable team to watch because they play hard and they play defense. And sure, you could look at that as a good win or good loss for the Knicks last night. It was close. They went toe to toe. I don't believe the regular season matters for the Knicks because they told you that when they fired Tibbs that they have to get to the finals. And I don't know that any of these things really get you to the finals or prevent you from getting there. All of that said, there's a reason our great TV team put the spotlight on Nuno today. Go ahead, Nuno. How angry are you about your team's loss and the non-call?
Listen. Jalen Brunson didn't play well, right? And they still had a chance to tie the game right at the end of regulation. My issue as a fan is twofold. It's that foul, call the game the way you call it in the first period and the fourth, because they literally have the same situation where they called a charge where OG Anunoby scored. Mark Daigneault challenged it. They reversed it to a charge, right? But it was very similar to what SGA did, and actually probably SGA was more of a clear charge. It's that, right? Then they challenged another one, and where they to figure out who the ball went off of Cat, and Cat picks up his fifth foul because they go back and review an out of bounds play and say, you actually fouled someone there. It's the inconsistency. Jalen Brunson ended up with a black eye during that game, and his response was, maybe they asked him how he got it. He was I think on a non-call. It's the inconsistency. I think you guys are having two different conversations. There's one where the way SGA plays, and you can debate that all you want, but it's the inconsistency with the refs, especially with a team, what it feels like a team I think like the Thunder. Heck, I think even the Pistons, they're very physical, so they get away with more things. I think that's just my frustration.
Is it that these teams get away with it, or is it that we focus on the teams that are winning and then we overanalyze it? Because you just brought up the number one seed in each conference after a big heck that really got a smirk out of Pat Costello. Pat was very into the heck that was used there. But
check the scoreboard, homie.
But I mean, isn't this what we do in all sports? We're going to overanalyze everything with every team that wins.
Yeah, and then people people have done the research, right? What was it with the Chiefs of like how many breaks they've got, which was kind of similar to what the Pats always got, a lot of breaks. I think fans, just at the end of the day, because I am a pro-ref official type of person.
Lies, and more lies.
I think they all do.
Do you think you're going to get fined?
Huh?
Do you think like you went too far where like
Is
they're
this
going
a
to fine
post-game
you?
presser? I feel like there's a post-game presser that you're doing.
Has to declare himself a pro-ref guy.
I respect the refs. They have a tough job out there.
Just
They're doing the best they can.
But just be consistent, right? Like, I think that's the issue in a lot of these games, especially with, maybe it's especially with really good teams, that, like, it's just, you want to see it being called, like, both ways for both teams. Either call the fouls or don't call them and, like, let the guys play.
Whoa.
I hate to break it to you. I really hate to break it to you. The refs are not going to suddenly change and be great refs. But between now and the end of the season, this is just going to be what happens.
He is a pro ref guy. So Adam Silver, please don't find Nuno for comments on the radio about referees. All right, coming up, we're going to do something I don't know that anyone's ever done. We're going to talk